Hey, Gigi, Take Me Back to Piauí is one of the songs in the movie we're going to be discussing today called I Am Still Here. Ainda Estou Aqui in Portuguese. It is a movie from the motherland of Brazil, specifically features Rio de Janeiro and Sao Paulo, two places I've been in my life. And I'm not here by myself to discuss this incredible film. I am here with some lovely guest hosts. Jason underscore Eccles. We got Michaela. We got JP. And of course, we got me. And before I tell you whoa. Before we go to first impressions, let me tell you this. The reason I picked this movie is because I actually watched this film when it came out in theaters in Brazil. So I watched it with a bunch of old people that were just very emotionally attached and nostalgic and reliving moments and memories together. And I legit cried in the film. Like almost 25 to 40% of the film I did not understand because I watched this in Brazil, like with no subtitles at all. But it was great to watch it again, and I wanted to bring it up to Cinema Club at some point, and I'm glad this is the time because we have incredible people here that will express their opinion, and they're not native Portuguese speakers either. So I would really like to know their first impressions. And I'm going to start with, of course, the one, the only, the returning JP Saruno.
Man, I'll tell you this right now. So Eddington is out in theaters right now, and when you pick this movie, I honestly did not want to see another Joaquin Phoenix performance in my lifetime. So I was greatly disappointed. But then when I found out that it wasn't that comedy, Joaquin Phoenix, I'm Still Here, featuring P. Diddy, I was greatly surprised and happy. Um, which is two words I wouldn't use to describe this movie. Um, but yeah, no, I went in completely blind. I kind of recognized that the movie was nominated for Best Picture and Best Foreign Picture, and I believe the main lead in this film was nominated and won several awards for her performance. Um, no, it's a very powerful, really like, oof, little, especially if you watch too much of the news and whatnot, how prevalent the film is, especially with crazy shit that's going on here. But yeah, no, it's a honestly a really great work of art, very good historical piece, very inspiring. Yeah, I think this is a really good choice, Des. I'll wait for a rating, but yeah, overall good movie. But if anyone watching is gonna go see it, be just emotionally and mentally prepared, bro.
Thank you so much, JP. Let's go with Michaela.
Okay. This was a fabulous pick. I'm so glad you picked this. I really wanted to see it when it was out in theaters, and I wanted to see it during the festival run, and I just never got around to it. And so I'm really glad you picked it because it was something I wanted to see. But it happens a lot with me in foreign films where if I don't see them when they're in the conversation of like happening right now in culture, then I kind of forget about them and I won't really see them. So I'm glad you picked it. And I loved it. That was my first impression was I loved it, but it was a very hard movie to watch. And I cried so much during it. I was like constantly crying during it. But the thing is, a lot of what made me cry during the movie, it surprised me. I cried a lot at just very small moments with the lead, Fernanda Torres, who stunned me with her acting. She was nominated for an Oscar for it, which I looked up later. I was like, she must have been nominated. She was so fabulous in it. And I was just really struck by her. There were just all these little moments in which I would just all of a sudden like break down in tears watching her because she just did so much. She just like lived so deeply in that person in that role, and just like made these like small moments really big and meaningful. And so it just, she was like, I was like constantly feeling emotionally struck, feeling what she was feeling. And so it was, the movie really pulled me in like that. I felt really like emotionally sucked in. So it was really intense, really beautiful. I definitely felt a lot. And I didn't know it was a true story. I didn't know anything going in. I like to go into movies as blind as possible, and I didn't know it was based on a real story. So when it was over and they started showing the real person and stuff, I was like, oh my God, I started crying all over again. I was like, it's a real story. So those are my first impressions. I loved it. It was a lot to process. I thought it was beautifully told, beautifully done. The acting, 10 out of 10. It's exactly the kind of acting which I love, which is like, you don't even notice it. It just is happening. You're just watching people exist. And the whole movie kind of felt like that. Just like you just felt like you were inside these private moments, which is really beautiful. And I really loved that. So, yeah.
Thank you so much, Michaela. Now let's go with Jason.
Hey. So this is my first time seeing this movie. I guess I also knew about it during like the festival awards run, and I know that it won Best International Film at the past Academy Awards. So I wanted to see it, and I'm it wasn't on my short list or long list. I was just hoping I would get to it, and here it is. It's in front of me. So, anyways, really good movie. Right off the bat, I just noticed the naturalistic acting in it, and that kind of like pulled me in because I also like movies like that. It's kind of refreshing sometimes, where it's like it's not really a showy performance. It's just little slice of life, and the intimacy of like so much of it happening in the house. Um, and it works really well because like this is a family story to me. Like I kept thinking, like this is a family story, and what I found interesting, I was like, how nice it must be to grow up in, a great big beautiful house like that in Brazil with, I mean, so many siblings. You know what I mean? And I don't think they never show them not get along really in the movie. But it's like it's such a happy household. It was such a happy upbringing. You know, it just felt very beautiful. Just like I just kind of wanted to live in that moment, a little longer. To be honest with you, and I guess like that's good directing because that's what the director wants before he like pulls it all away from you, like and I mean what they went through, and it's just a lot, man. And then governments and dictators and all this crazy mess. I kept thinking like, is this a true story? The entire movie, I'm like, all these events feel very true, and Dino has told me like similar stories like this, all over South America. His home country, Paraguay, too. Also, that dude looks like he could have been one of Dino's cousins or something. Like he looked like a relative of
Oh
Dino.
my God, yes.
I was like, this is one of Dino's kin for sure. Um, uh, I, uh, I did really like this. I didn't. It didn't like bring me to tears, I guess, because I was like eating and stuff while I was watching it. So I was almost watching it like a little bit more academically than allowing myself to get like emotionally involved. You know what I mean? Because I was like doing stuff the whole time I was watching it. But yeah, I mean, it's just a well crafted movie. It deserves to be an international film. Honestly, I mean, that might have been better than whatever won the Academy Award here this year. To be honest with you, what won the Academy Award here? I don't know. You guys know? Let me know. Um, yeah. Uh, yeah. I really liked it a lot, man, and I liked everybody in it. In the lead, Eunice. She's just so good. She's so good at like this woman going through this thing and holding her family together and being strong, and it's a lot for sure. And also I kept wondering, like at the end, was this the house that they filmed in the house they grew up in? Because it kind of gave that feel. I mean, even at the end of the movie, they kind of put a little thing in the credits, like going through the house. And I'm like, huh, I wonder if this is actually it. I don't know. But it's a beautiful set regardless. I loved it. But those are my initial thoughts.
Thank you so much, Jason. Let's go with mine. So this is not my first time watching the film, obviously. Like I said, I watched it in film, in theaters in Brazil, specifically Rio de Janeiro, where most of this film takes place. And I went through like a series of before watching this specific film, which I absolutely wanted to watch in theaters there. I went on a quick bench of watching a bunch of different Brazilian films because the major reason a lot of them don't cross over is just because of the language barrier. Uh, but it doesn't mean that they're not great. They're actually really freaking good. Like one of these dudes that just crossed over, he's doing a lot of American things. Uh, Forgot the name of the dude, but he plays Pablo Escobar in
Oh,
Narcos.
yeah, yeah,
Uh, so that dude has a crazy history in like films in Brazil. And I was watching a few of his movies and stuff, and I was like, yeah, this dude since he was young, he just had that thing, that is just like is very captivating.
yeah,
And that's how I feel about Fernanda Torres in this film. And even her mother that actually plays her older as well at the end when she has like Alzheimer and stuff like that. Um, and I think the performances, just like you guys said, is top notch. Like even from the kids have incredible. Even the dog when he gets run over, like
Yes,
all have incredible performances.
the kids
Uh,
were amazing. Yes.
yeah, and rewatching it, it's like just like Jason said, it's kind of like that. Like it wants, like it's building how much the love and the bond of this family is. And like in between, the dad is doing stuff, but you don't really know what exactly is going on.
Hmm.
I didn't even know that he was a congressman either. Like
Yeah.
me watching it when I was rewatching it again, I was like, "Oh, he was a congressman." I didn't know that part, because that was something that flew by when I was watching it originally in Brazil with no subtitles or nothing. So like, it was great to have all those contexts for it to understand the movie even better. Uh, but just to say that, like when I watched this film, I legit was like the same as a lot of you guys' opinion of like, wow, like this film is so good. Like a lot of people might not see it because of the whole language barrier thing, but this film is better than a lot of things that have been going out, as of late. So when I watched it, I legit like I felt even though I didn't live through that specifically, like I was in the theater, I could feel the energy and the emotion of everybody that like went through this period of time. And like me experiencing that and being part of that, like I was bawling, crying also at the theater. And like this time, I held my tears a little bit, but they wanted to come out, and they wanted to come out in like happy moments just because I already know what's going to come next. And like that's what's so devastating about it. And even the guy that plays the dad, he's also like a renowned actor in Brazil. I watch many films. There's one called O Alto da Compadecida 1 and 2. That he's like one of the main guys in that film, and he does amazing. It's more a comedic role that he plays here, but man, he can play drama so great, and he played like a really good dad, so good, like so believable, so good. Like performances are 10 out of 10 in my opinion. Like everywhere, everywhere. I didn't see a single bad performance. Even the dudes that came that from the military that were intimidating, they were intimidating. you
But they
know?
were also like fully rounded people,
yeah,
which was great directing and great acting, because a lot of those type of characters in movies are just like one-dimensional thugs, or you don't really get any humanity from them, and they felt like real people. And even like just in the small looks that they had, like the one shot of the one guy lying on the couch and he's like asleep, and then he like you just see him open his eyes looking at her, going through her photos or whatever, and it's kind of like one quick creepy shot. But even in that moment, you like catch some of his humanity. Like they're just they're fully rounded people.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like for me, I want to wrap up my first impression so we can dive deep. But like one thing this movie, because again, I can talk about the writing, the acting, the cinematography was amazing, the colors, all this,
The
the scenery,
cinematography,
everything. But like
loved
I
it.
think the thing that makes this film so great is that even with the language barrier or whatever, it just makes you feel. Like no matter what is going to hook you and make you feel unless you literally are not looking at the screen. But like it hooks you. And that's like when that happens, I think that's like film magic. Like you can't go wrong
Hmm.
once you're there. And that's great. Again, great directing, great producing, great editing, great
Hmm.
everything overall. So yeah, those were my first impressions. Um, there's a lot to, of course, consume and talk about this film in particular. But I want to know before we dive into favorite scenes and favorite characters and all that stuff. I want to know, was there a moment, a scene, a situation in the film that it made it difficult for you because of the whole language thing? Or was it pretty easy to follow along everything with the subtitles? And because I know the subtitles mean the bit of Portuguese that I know, the subtitles are not extremely accurate. They're as accurate as they
Hmm.
can be, but when they're saying certain things, it's not the exact same thing that says in the subtitle, but it's close.
Sure. Yeah, I didn't have a problem following it. No, not at all. Actually, I mean, it
No, I
was.
didn't either. No, it wasn't like when we talked about E two Mama Tambien and how it's like so fast and
Yeah.
you could tell that there was like a lot of like dialect things. Like it didn't feel the same. I think it's maybe because this one is slower paced or something, but it felt easy to understand. The only thing was for me was that at the beginning, this movie doesn't really give you a lot of plot at first. It's very, like you said, you don't even find out that he was a congressman until like later. You don't really, you're kind of like getting these little breadcrumbs of what's happening, which is really interesting and bold filmmaking that they're just like building this world of the family because it really is about the family, and that's just really like show. I mean, it's telling the audience how important that is, so you get that really strong foundation. But there isn't like a ton of plot happening at the beginning, so it's just so you're getting like little slow conversations. So I felt like at first I was like, am I missing something that hasn't happened yet? But then I was still like really sucked into it. And I knew something was going to happen with the father. Like I could feel that there was something that was going to happen. Like I was like, is he going to get shot or? But I didn't feel like confused by the actual dialogue. Like it felt like I was understanding those scenes. But maybe I'm just ignorant. Maybe I don't know.
Now I know enough Spanish where like I did catch certain phrases like being translated differently into the English text, but there's some stuff that you definitely cannot translate like word for word because it will not make sense like in the written English language or like little like I know like for most dubs or not dubs but subtitles movies I've seen like they'll just try to do like kind of the quickest way to give a line. Like in some parts, I recall them saying like, and it felt like the whole world was with me, and instead it's like, no, everyone is with you. So just shorten the text, just so like people who are not familiar with the language just quickly read it and they get it. You know.
Yeah. Right on.
Yeah.
So, also, two big themes that this movie deals with is family, of course, and time. So, I want to talk about that concept of time now that we're all a little older.
Speak for
Uh,
yourself, you asshole.
so, how did you guys feel about time passing in this film? Like the one that I got shocked, and I mean, again, it's a complete directorial choice, was how many days she spent locked up.
I
Because
know.
it was
Same thing. When she's like scraping on the wall and they like cut to her having like scraped, I don't know, 12 days or something. I think I gasped or said something out loud, and I was like, oh my God, like it felt so disturbing.
Yeah. Yeah, super disturbing and super on edge and intense. And you're left in the dark as much as like the character is in that moment. So it's like really easy
Yeah.
to like empathize. I mean, I guess it's always empathetic, really, but just I don't know, just really good storytelling. Like, and that's not a lot of words. You know what I mean? That's
That's a
just
good way
like
to
some
say
sort
it.
of
You're like left in
it's
the dark, like they
yeah,
are. 'Cause
you're
you
left in the
are.
dark. You're getting like visuals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just really powerful stuff, man. Really powerful storytelling. It just the way they told it, honestly, and like I know, I mean, we're not exactly talking about cinematography, but like you say, left in the dark, and then she's in this dark room, and men are coming in and out of the shadows. You know what I mean? And like, I just couldn't believe like how calm and polite they both were as like their house was being intruded upon. You know what I mean? And they got their children there, and I don't know. It just they they just seem like upright, nice people, right? Like that's how they're portrayed in this thing. It just I don't know. It's weird to me. It's weird to me, like we never really see them break, especially like in front of their children. You know what I mean? And even in the moment where like the mom is kind of caught, she invites her daughter in, like there is no secret really in their house, kind of thing. Even though they're like just trying to keep each other happy at the same time because there are like they're not telling like the mom's not telling them everything. She's trying to keep her family calm and together, and that's difficult too. I don't know. It's just all so beautifully, you know,
But it's
orchestrated.
also that, like that, now that you mentioned that, like at first, also the mom is completely out of the loop because she didn't even know what was going on because he was protecting them. And then she's
Right.
just protect the young ones
Mm-hmm.
and like maintain their innocence and just try to
Mm-hmm.
live like a regular life. Because even that's why the kid is playing with the other dude and all that stuff. Because he's just like, whatever, these are best control people, I guess. Because that's what the mom said at one.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but yeah, it's just that to like protect the innocence. And it made me think of my childhood of just like how many moments my mom or whatever like was going through like a tough situation and like told me some little lie or something completely different just so I'm not aware of like
Right.
what the heck is going on.
And also like it made me think about how much kids pick up on because
Mm.
like that because you like see her protect the kids like we're talking about, and then when she's leaving Rio, when they're leaving the house in Rio, and there's the younger daughter, her name starts with a B, Babu or something, I can't remember her name.
Siberia.
Yeah, so she's sitting on the porch, and that actress, how old is that girl? 10? She was amazing. Like there were
Yeah.
so many shots where I would just be drawn to her face because she was doing so much in every single second. Like the scene where the mom is talking about they're all at the dinner table and she's talking about them moving and leaving the house, and they cut to the kids. You can see her face looking up at the house, and it's like she's taking in that she's going to lose her home. I'm like,
Mm.
who told the kid to act like that? Like that was great acting. Like
Wow.
did she just do that?
Yeah.
But like her on the porch and like looking at the house and like having that moment with the house, I was like, that was so, you could tell the kid was like really understanding that this was like goodbye to her dad. And then later on when she says it as an adult, like that's when I buried dad. I was like, it was like I knew she's gonna say that. I was like, she's gonna say that because that moment, like she showed us that was like her saying goodbye to that era in her life, and she
Yeah.
did such a great job. The kid was like did such a great job performing, but it also showed you like how kids, they become aware of things like at a certain time, like they pick up on things. Like maybe she wasn't always aware, but then over time, like they become aware.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was I didn't catch the moment really where she looked up at the house and stuff like that, but I did catch the moment when she went back and talked about it, and I thought that was a nice little touch. The two adults, like kind of like talking about when they remember, because they were both so young, like talking about what they thought, when they thought their dad was coming back, or when they knew they had lost their dad forever. Like
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was like really interesting too, because like yeah, they were children and their like perception of the world is different, and then and also like the mom like never like told the kids straight up, like she never like just straight up family meetings, sit down, this is what just happened, like
Right.
you know their happiness was like paramount. So yeah, it's like I don't know, I don't know, it's just kind of beautiful, man. Like I don't know why I even think it, to be honest with you. It's just really nice. I guess just the idea of like this family and sticking together and like these parents trying to put like the safety and happiness of their family first. Like it's just, I don't know, something like really cool about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll admit the time jumps between like just decades into the final act
Yeah.
that caught me very much off guard. I was like,
Mm.
oh shit! Like we're in the
Yeah.
80s now. We're in the now. It kind of gives that. It kind of sets into reality a lot of like period or historic movies kind of don't really do. Is like no, this happened in someone's lifetime,
Mm-hmm.
and you see that progression, like kind of like the the simple rewards of purely just surviving.
Mm-hmm.
She waited
Yeah.
so long to get that vindication to be told straight up like yes, my government killed my husband, and yes, like I now my children will have children of their own. Because I think I kind of had a feeling that because I did not know this was based on a true story. I kind of had a feeling that was like midway through the film. There was those time jumps where I was like, okay, there is no way this is not based on like an actual person, especially with how specific some of the characters like where they ended up in life with that time jump. Um, but yeah, no, it was pretty insane and also very relatable about the whole kids being ignorant, but like
Mm-hmm.
eventually they find out on their own. Because
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure maybe she never really told them straight up, like eventually each kid came to terms that dad's not coming back.
Yeah.
So, of course, there's some powerful scenes in this film. I want to know which scenes or what moments were very remarkable for you. I'll go first while you guys think about it. I'm going to say this time around, 'cause the first time I watched it in theaters, very different, but this time watching it, what was really remarkable for me was the moments they took pictures together. Because sometimes we have those moments where even I myself remember, like, my first Disney trip as a kid was with like a bunch of my family members. And now looking back, some of them are not alive anymore. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
them other places around the world that's kind of difficult to get together. Like all those moments are like very precious moments. And we
Mm-hmm.
sometimes don't, you know, we take those moments for granted, whether we were kids or bigger or whatever. But then looking back, it's like, wow, like look at that moment where all these people got together for this specific reason,
Yeah.
whatever it was. So like when they were taking a picture together at the beach, it's like such a quick moment in like the movie itself, but it's such a remarkable thing. Like at least for me,
Mm-hmm.
it struck me so much because it goes from the picture to like the military's passing through, you
Mm-hmm.
know? They don't even give you like a second to really soak that up. And then you see it later when she's looking back at the pictures. And then at the very end, when everybody, then, the grown-ups and stuff with their kids and all that, and the mom there still, having Alzheimer's and everything. And kind of having, I guess, a little bit, at least for film purposes, a little bit of closure of about her husband, that even
Mm-hmm.
though his body wasn't found, he was announced on TV. And whether she actually processed that or not, that's a whole nother story, or we can discuss that. But those were, for me, very powerful scenes.
Now, is this based on the book that the kid wrote? Like he wrote about his life. Is this the book that they're making the movie off of?
Oh, no, that's a good question.
I don't know if it's based on the book that we see in the film, but it is based on a book that he did write. Because I know he does show a book to one of the bureaucrats, right? And for them to sign.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know if that's the book that's the movie is based on. But yeah, the movie was took a lot of notes from one of his books. I don't know if it was that one though.
I know my moment because it was very striking for me while watching it. So it was, I think it was the first time I cried. It was early on. It was super simple. It was when the dad gets taken away, and it's so as he's like taken away, they kiss at the doorway, and you kind of think like that's going to be the goodbye. And then he walks out to the car, and then you see him get in the car, and she just like emerges from the doorway and just looks at him and smiles. And I don't know why, but it was like the way that she smiles at him, or it was like such a subtle smile. It was like a normal smile. I don't know. I don't even know if it was the smile or what, but it was just the way she looked at him. I like all of a sudden burst into tears. And I was like, oh my God. Like, it was just, it like affected me so much. Like, it's affecting me right now thinking about it. I just think it was like, I could feel deep love between them. And it felt like this intense goodbye, but also such a simple goodbye. And it felt like a real moment. And like, you didn't know what was going to happen. It was just like this like simple moment. And it just really, really struck me. And then after that, I just like kept crying throughout the movie because everything would make me cry. But that like set me off. And so I just felt like that was like really simple, profound, and just really great filmmaking, really great, like taking a simple moment, filming it exactly right. Like it wasn't this like fancy big moment. They just like caught her coming out of the doorway, and she's just a fabulous actor. She just did it so well. And it just really, really struck me. And it also is like, I had this moment during the movie later where I thought, I also thought this movie is about family. I thought that many times throughout the movie. And I loved them taking the photos. I had the same thought you did, Steve, about the photos. And like, it really makes you think about these events in your life that you've taken photos with family members who aren't there. I thought that as well. And I loved how that was like a recurring theme, and like the camera and all of that. And I thought that was really cool. But I thought all that stuff was like, it was obvious that this was a story about family and this mother who's trying to fight for her family. But it also is like this quiet, beautiful love story. It's a tragic love story, but it's a love story. Like, she's like never gives up fighting to find her husband and find out what happened, and to like, tell his story. Like she is wearing her wedding ring when they show her in 1998 or 1996 or whatever, when it's the flash forward. She's still wearing her wedding ring, and you see that and you're like, like that broke down again when I saw her wearing her wedding ring. I'm like, she's still wearing her wedding ring. Like it's also a love story. And I think in that moment when she's standing at the doorway and she's just looking at him, like, it's like gonna make me cry just think about it. It just like felt so powerful. It just felt like this simple, like, I'm looking at my love, and he's just like looking back at her. He just like looks at her. It's just like, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, this thing is littered with like moments like that just aren't done up. Where
Mm-hmm.
in most movies there would be like a little bit of a swelling music or something to like indicate. And this movie doesn't do anything really to indicate how it wants to make you feel, other than just really good acting, right? And I mean, maybe like some camera stuff and like some lighting stuff too, but I mean, really just really good acting. They're telling this story, man, and it's powerful. It's great. I
And
mean,
the
it
acting
deserves
isn't
all the
even
accolades.
like the acting isn't indicating either. Like, indicating is a great word, because when I was watching this, I was just, like I said, I was stunned by her, Fernanda Torres, because I even thought about like other actors that I know, like American actors, if they were in this part. And I was like other actors I love. I was like Amy Adams in this role. I was like, she'd be fabulous, but she would be doing a lot of different things. And I think she would be indicating a lot, like, because I think that that's the natural, like I think you would be having a lot of feelings. You'd be like quivering a lot. You'd be like having, I think a lot of actors would play it with a lot more like bubbling intensity or something. And she just, I don't know, she just like got so much done by just being. She never indicated. So indicating is a great word because the movie doesn't like indicate really. It doesn't do that with music or like you said, like the swelling music. I feel like this moment that I'm talking about in a lot of movies would have had that swelling music and it didn't have that. It was just like, there she is at the door. Like it was just beautiful and simple.
Yeah, it's funny, like I felt that while I was watching it because like as an audience member, at least some part of you like, well, these weird dudes just showed up at the door and you know, they're taking your husband away and they're armed guys. I'm like, strong possibility you don't ever see this guy again. Like that's what I was thinking. And I was like, the way that they're playing this though, it's like I don't know, like it's kind of hard to tell, man. It's kind of hard to tell. Like, did they know that they would disappear? Did they really think they were coming back? Like, what were the odds or chances with this political unrest going on and whatnot, and a dictator in power? Like, like were they not hip to how these things usually go, or were they just playing it up for like the kids and the wife and not trying to freak anybody out? It was I don't know. It was just really nicely done, like all of it. It just feel very real and very authentic, and there was this beautiful like simplicity about it. Sometimes the best movies are just that, man. They're just simple.
Yeah.
Um, just a simple movie, kind of about family. Like in a way, in that way specifically, it reminds me of Tokyo Story. I don't know if you guys ever seen that. It's a Japanese film from I think '51. The same kind of thing, just a movie about family, super simple, beautiful, and a lot of people think it's the best movie that's ever been made. Oh, and she also won the Golden Globe for Best Actress for this.
And she was nominated for the Oscar.
Okay. Yeah, and when she did win the Golden Globe, just a fun fact, I was in Brazil, and that was as big as like them winning the World Cup.
Oh wow!
Like
I love
people
that.
were going crazy on the streets, honking.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
Buying drinks, like it was insanity. Like my friend, I have a friend of mine that he is very gay, and he told me like this is gonna be huge. If she wins, this is gonna be bigger than like winning a World Cup. He like told me in advance, and then it actually happened, and then I actually experienced it and
Oh,
was
wow.
there, and it was crazy.
That is so fun. I love that.
That's great.
Yeah, Brazilians just have another level of partying and spirit, and when something like that happens, that they get world recognition technically,
Yeah,
yeah, they go nuts.
good for
God,
them.
cool.
I'm glad
Love
they
that.
had that moment. And I
So
think if I won the Golden Globe, I don't think hardly anybody would get nuts.
We get nuts.
Just you guys. That's it.
All the Detroiters.
That's hilarious.
Right?
so
Yeah, I would have to shout out Detroit, and then they'd be like, "Okay, this guy's okay."
there's a lot of characters here. So let's go with favorite characters. And you can have an honorable mention, but you have to mention your favorite character.
Um,
It's hard not to say the lead
Yeah.
mom
She's
character.
so
I mean,
fabulous.
I'm gonna try to say I think the eldest who was also taken into questioning. I thought there was a lot of good scenes with her. One of the things that like stuck out to me with her performance was when she confronts the mom that because the one of the other kids there in London while all this is happening, and she's finding out through third parties and secondhand, like just through journalists and whatnot, of all the shit that's going on with their family. And so when she confronts the mom about like why are you hiding this from us, our shared experience, and then the mom just the first time in the film that she kind of breaks because she actually physically strikes her, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like that was an intense scene, and I did really did like her performance. That poor damn puppy, man.
I
The
know.
other puppy too is like, oh man.
Yeah.
It was a good way to start the movie though, because you can't go wrong with dogs, and you get to you get a real good sense of like how good folks are, the way they treat the animals, and it's like, oh, this silly beachside family like taking in a stray because their little boy wants it. Yeah, those are my two characters.
Love the
That's pretty
dog.
funny. Yeah, the dog is great. I love that dog. Right away, I was like, I love this little mangy dog.
I know. We said the same thing. I think maybe we said this little mangy dog or mud or something. Yeah.
Also, did you guys notice that they use Coca-Cola to, tan?
Yeah, that was
Yes.
fucking weird. Why? Like, I was watching the movie with my roommate, and I was like, is that oil in the Coke bottle? I was like,
Mhm.
nah, they're
I
putting
thought the
Coke on
same.
each other. It's like, why the
Is
fuck
that
would
tanning
anyone
oil?
do that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought
what
that
they
was
were pouring the coke on their legs, right?
Yeah,
weird.
Why? What does that do?
ants. That's what
Was the
that
idea
does.
they thought maybe it would make them darker faster or
I guess
something?
because of the caramel coloring, maybe.
Is
Oh,
that a Brazilian thing? I'm gonna Google it.
yeah. I mean, it's also the '70s, so I mean, and they're children, so who knows?
Yeah. God, it is hard to figure out what character to say besides the mom because she was so great. I mean, I don't know. I guess I could. And also it's hard not to say like one of the kids because I loved them. I think that little girl, I really fell in love with her, especially on that porch scene. I loved. She also is like, I'm maybe like a little bit biased towards her because I thought she was a fabulous actor, and however old she is, like she looks like she's 10 or whatever. She kept drawing me in, but she kind of looks like my niece Aurelia. And so I kept looking at her and being like, she looks like my niece. So it made her more endearing to me. And they don't look exactly like, but they have like similar kind of features. So I was like, oh, she's so cute. And she kind of looks like her. So that she made her more endearing to me, maybe. But she was just such a good actor, too, for being a kid. They were all good. All the kids were good. And
Yes.
I loved how they felt like siblings. Like they all, I would believe if they were real siblings. And the casting was really good as far as like they looked like the mom. They all kind of looked like her.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to pick a favorite character. They all have such like depth and warmth to them. I guess I would just have to go with the mom because that's like one of the greatest performances I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, it's damn good for sure.
Yeah.
Um, so I guess I could go with anybody, honestly, in the family. So I'm gonna go with somebody just outside, just really as an acknowledgement to how good I thought they were, and we even I think it was Steve that said like none of the characters are like everybody did their job in this thing. Like everybody
Mhm.
showed up, and Michaela, like you said, they were all fully lived in people. It felt like, and so I really was pretty interested in the guys that showed up to their house that night because I mean I know we briefly mentioned all of them too, but like the main guy, the lead guy who just sort of stayed there the whole time, and then he said he was a para psychologist or something like that,
Mhm.
and like he was like dead serious. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, like what's going on here? Like these guys are like now working for the dictator, and like this guy's a psychologist. Like what's going on? Yeah, man, it's just kind of wild. All those guys just felt like real human beings, and the weirdo, like you said, the weirdo creep that was looking at them all the time and creeping everybody out. Like you just know that dude's a weirdo. You know what I mean?
When
Um,
real quick, just to interject with that.
yeah,
When that one dude did the finger thing to the little
Yeah.
girl,
yeah.
what did you guys think? Intimidating, funny, what?
I thought that was just
Uh,
like a cute, like
yeah,
kind of a real human moment, like an adult just trying to make a kid laugh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's how I felt about that too.
I didn't
So
think of it as intimidating, but I guess I could see it being taken that way. What did you think?
I
I
thought
would feel like they were trying to intimidate them. Honestly, I
yeah,
don't. I
You
think
did?
that's what to play intimidation might have been almost like too easy. I liked how they didn't play intimidating. They act like they were supposed to be there, but even the parents acted like they're supposed to be there. They even lied and say, "Oh, these are the whatever people, the pest control and stuff."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, so I mean, they had some idea. Like it wasn't normal. Nothing was normal about them being there.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I just thought those guys were like really, they just felt like good actors. I know they didn't have a whole lot of work to do, but they all lived in every single one
Yeah.
of them.
JP?
Oh man, like I kind of agree, but I could not help but think like just read a goddamn room, brother. you know.
So I'm gonna mention two characters that just slip through the cracks. They have very minor roles, but I think it's nice. One, I think it was just put in my opinion, just put in there for a relief of like, hey, we need to give a little. And it was the guard that was actually talking to her,
Oh
telling
yeah. Hmm.
telling her little tidbits that at least gave her some relief.
Hmm.
My guard that at the end was like, I don't approve this, but you're out or whatever.
Yeah,
And then there is a reporter that you can correct me. I could be wrong, but he's the only black guy that I saw in the movie.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. That guy.
so
Yeah.
that guy, I
That
actually
guy.
saw.
I guess he was because I don't remember any other black guy except for that guy.
So that guy is a fabulous actor. He has a
I think
very
some of the
minor.
kids were black guys, maybe like their friends they were playing soccer
Oh
with on the
no,
beach.
you're right. Yeah, there were a couple.
I
Yeah.
guess I guess
Well,
those are like
adult,
featured extras. What?
adult,
Oh, what
adult.
about the bureaucrat lady? She was a black lady, right?
Oh,
No.
What
was it?
beer?
Okay.
What beer?
Continue.
Oh no, she was. She was. You're right. You're right. Hmm.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
But anyway, that guy, the guy that's like the reporter and stuff, that he's like telling them like, just look serious, and she's
Yeah.
like, no, smile.
Yeah.
And so that guy, I actually before watching the film in theaters in Brazil, I
Hmm.
went to see a musical called Martinho, and this dude was the lead there,
Oh,
and he was amazing. Like I'm talking like this dude is a killer actor.
And he sings too.
Yeah, he sings, he dances,
Yeah.
the whole deal.
Which guy?
The
The one
reporter.
with the afro,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
he was the reporter
Okay,
uh, that went to interview her and stuff, and he wanted to take like a
yeah,
serious picture for the
yeah,
tablet, and she
right.
was like, "No, everybody smile. I don't want to put any sadness or whatever." So so that guy, like, even though he has like a very small scene there, because he only has that scene and then he's out. I see him live, and this dude is a killer actor. Like,
Oh yeah.
just Brazil is full of amazing
I'm
art.
sure everybody who's in this thing is a killer actor.
Hmm.
This thing is cast very well.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, even the dog. I saw him act in the streets one time.
Yeah,
He
yeah, he's a
got
street
he
performer,
got a
man.
dollar off of me. Let me tell you.
He's a street dog, street performer.
God, I just wanted to hold that dog. That dog looked like it'd be so cute to hold.
I want to pet that dog. Can I
I
touch
do.
that dog?
Stop that dog.
So, before we go into final thoughts, is there anything that you guys want to add or talk about in the film in particular? It could be anything: cinematography, lighting, etc., etc.
Since you mentioned cinematography, I do want to just give a quick shout out to it being shot on film, which I always get really excited when I see something that's shot on film, which I feel like it's definitely having a resurgence. So it's happening more and more. And I love it. I love, like, you'll see, like, Tarantino shoots everything on film, and there's some filmmakers like Nolan who insist on shooting everything on film, but a lot of them can't afford it or don't. And immediately within the first like 4 seconds, I was like, this is shot on film. Like, it looks so beautiful. And then I had to look it up because I was like, it looks like it's on film, and it is. It's shot on 35, and I don't know what camera they use, but it's got that like kind of grainy look too, and I just felt like that was such a smart choice because it looks and feels like the 1970s, and that's when it takes place. You know, it's 1970 or 1971, I think. So it gives it like that retro feel, but also just film just like, in my opinion, feels more intimate, and so it just adds a lot like of intimacy to the film. And I love that they did the Super 8 stuff. So I loved that. I thought that was just really a smart choice of the filmmaker. And it's a lot more expensive to shoot on film. So I'm sure that the filmmaker had to fight for that, because to shoot on 35 millimeter, to shoot a feature on 35 millimeter, it adds like an extra 50 to 100 grand to your budget. So it's a huge like price jump. I mean, at least like an extra 50 to 100 grand. So it's a big price jump to do it. So I don't know what the funding was for this movie or what, but that's a hard sell. And so
I'm pretty sure Jason will have those numbers in a couple more minutes.
Yeah, so it's cool because it's cool when you see something like this made on film, because you just know that the filmmaker like really fought for that and probably fought really hard for that. And I think that's cool because it does add a lot.
I just found, like, for Joaquin Phoenix to pretend to be a recluse for a whole year just to play punked with his celebrity friends was more annoying than artistic. I don't know.
When you said that at first, JP, I got so scared. I was like, did he though? I was like, we're about to really. JP's about to be so fucked up right now.
Oh no!
I was like, oh no. You had me for a second.
But you guys aren't going to believe this, but this movie was made on a budget of $1.5 million. Yeah, that happened.
And
internationally, it grossed 36 million.
It definitely recouped that money and some.
That is so awesome. That is like so inspiring to hear, because it's such a beautiful film. $1.4 million. I mean,
1.5.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
International gross of 36 million.
Wow. I hope Fernanda got some points.
Yeah, man.
She probably didn't get paid very much for this, so I hope she got some points and could recoup some of that.
Yeah, man. Hopefully this was a what do you call it? A SAG 1 contract. Is that what they call it?
I hope for her sake.
International SAG contract. I think it's called a SAG 1.
Wow. That's really cool to hear.
Cool.
And like 10% of that budget was probably on film and processing.
Heck yeah, man. Like, yeah, it's kind of unbelievable. It's kind of unbelievable. I mean, it's just a really, I mean, damn good directing, man.
Wow.
Also, Jason, it wasn't the house. How the house was set up, they set it up, as accurate as possible, but it wasn't the actual house. They just got a house that was vacant. It had like the specs, and in Orca, which I've been there. It's near Playa Vermelha and the Sugarloaf Mountain, and they film that stuff there for the house.
Cool. Yeah, it looked great.
And so, yeah, I mean, if you guys don't want to add something specific, I think it's time for final thoughts.
Yeah, let's final thought it up.
Alrighty, let's go backwards. Let's make it interesting. Let's start with myself. Yeah. So, final thoughts. I love this film. I would never get tired of recommending this film, and I get very excited when I find foreign films that not only are at the level and caliber of a Hollywood film, but they surpass expectations. Because then I go, see, Hollywood, you're not the only market in town. There's other people making really cool stuff. And yeah, it's just a matter of like finding it and chasing it. Thankfully, this one was just in the marquee of everything when I went to Brazil early this year, and I was able to experience it live with the people there because it's such a different cinema experience. I've been thankfully blessed to be in too many films in the United States, the Caribbean, Mexico, Panama, Colombia, and Brazil. And every experience is very unique and different because the people, the culture is very different. And Brazilians are, such a vibrant and expressive culture that it was just amazing to be blessed to watch it in an actual Brazilian movie theater. Like I thought it was one of the best experience I ever had in cinema of all time.
Oh
And
wow.
it was just because of this very raw, very authentic, and very incredible, well acted film and directed and everything, every aspect of it. I think it blew it out of the park. And I honestly think I will recommend this movie a lot to a lot of people because every time I recommend it to someone and they even watch a little bit of it, they get hooked and they want to see more, or they want to finish it, or et cetera, et cetera. So I feel this is still going to be a movie that's going to fall under a lot of people's radar. And it's so great to see that such a wonderful film was made not necessarily on a shoestring budget, but just not in a crazy budget that we hear these days to make something like Tom Cruise skydive 50 times, you know? So, no, Michaela's laughing at that one.
That was good.
But yeah, it's a great film. I'm probably gonna watch this 20 more times and keep breaking my heart over and over again. But it's just such a great film that it needs to be watched many, 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 and many times, and to understand also the history and to be curious about like the process and the things that all these other countries have gone through throughout the years and stuff. Like it's a great film overall, and I will highly recommend it to everyone. Those are my final thoughts. Let's
Cool.
go with Jason.
Final thought. Uh, I really like this movie. I mean, as you guys can tell, will I watch it again? Yeah, I will watch this thing again. I will watch this thing again with somebody else, and not think too much about it. It's a great movie, man, and it's worth. I think it's worth more than one view, honestly. Um, who would I recommend it to? I would recommend this to people who love. Honestly, I feel like anybody could get into this story. Maybe this movie is not 100% accessible to everyone because it's a foreign film. But the movie is so well paced. Like I didn't have any problems, like you know, reading the subtitles, or like things weren't going too fast for me or anything. It's just like kind of just you just sort of sink into this movie, and it's like paced so beautifully. I feel like honestly anybody could watch this thing. Like this is a movie about family, so essentially it could be a family movie. I think because there's kids of it in all ages. I think maybe from the time you're, a teenager or something, you probably can sink yourself into this a little bit, maybe. But for all adults, definitely worth a watch. I think it's terrific.
Thank you
That's
so
it. That's
much,
my final thought.
Jason. Thank you so much, Jason. Let's go with Michaela.
Okay, my final thoughts. I loved the movie, like I said earlier. So, yeah, I think the one thing I'd like to say that I haven't said is I would recommend this movie to a lot of people right now to watch because while we were watching it, John and I think why it kept like emotionally affecting me too is I would get like emotionally drawn into the love story and the family story, and then I would kind of get hit again by what was happening in the movie politically and this dictatorship, and then I would kind of be jolted in thinking about what's going on in our own country and what like Trump is trying to do, and so there were parts of me that were thinking like this isn't this reality that they were living in like half a century ago or whatever in a different country. In a lot of ways, it feels kind of similar to things that are happening in our country today. So that was like also emotionally hitting me. And this was an affluent family with influence that this happened to. So it was just one of those things where I was thinking, like, even though when you feel safe, sometimes you're not totally safe. I don't know if I'm articulating that well, but so I think it's a poignant film also right now, and about like the dangers of dictatorships, and how people aren't necessarily safe or protected from that. So I think it's an important film to watch right now. And I would recommend it to people to watch now. I'd recommend it to everybody to watch now. I think that if you don't feel the fear of a dictatorship possibility like happening, then that's okay. And you will just enjoy the movie and be moved. But it also is like an interesting element added that makes it just a little bit more poignant. So I'd recommend it to everybody, and I definitely will watch it again. Probably not for a while, because it was so impactful and affecting to me, and I cried so much that I will need to have some time before I watch it again.
Cool.
Thank you so much, Michaela. JP, take us home.
Radio. Very well crafted film. You could tell that the ensemble put their heart and soul into the piece. And also very deserving of the international being best international film. I just hope that next year's winner is not also based on war and death. I mean, as long as it's a good movie, but I probably would like to see a comedy from South Africa. But yeah, no, overall great movie, A+. I would definitely watch this with other folks as well. I know my partner would probably like to see this picture, even though they missed out on it. And yeah, very cautionary tale. If you have friends who have opinions today, I probably should watch it. And then I will now A+ movie, but I also end it with this. After watching the second Joker movie, Beau is Afraid, and then this other one, I think Mr. Phoenix could probably get a therapist or just touch grass. The next movie I see him in, no one give him a gun. Make another Her movie. I don't care. Just don't give him a gun.
You guys, let's push JP out of the car. Push him out of the car. Don't stop driving. Push him out.
Tuck and roll, JP.
Yeah. That was my most favorite scene in Lady Bird, and that was my only favorite scene in Lady Bird.
That was funny.
Okay. So, I mean, that just leaves me with a question, and that's Steve. What do you got for us next week?
Are you muted?
Can
you guys hear me? Oh, there you
go. I
saw your mouth moving. I'm so glad you asked.
I'm so glad you asked, because we are going to watch Joker 2. The Return of Lady Gaga. No, I'm kidding. It is JP's turn.
Oh, man. Well, with how things have been with the current climate and all that, I think maybe we could take a small little break. We're gonna go. I can't think of a funny thing to say about this one. Well, just put up the poster if you got it already. It's gonna be 1988's The Naked Gun.
I had a feeling you were going to pick this earlier today. I mean, I didn't even know that you were picking, but something like made me feel like you wanted to watch this, I think.
Oh my God, we almost watched this last night. I'm so excited.
Yeah,
great.
It was either this or that K-pop movie.
Oh, the Demon Hunters one?
Yeah, I like it.
Everybody
I heard great things about it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. So yeah, Naked Gun, but double feature with the K-pop movie, y'all. It's great. It's the #1 for like a month.
Yeah, it has.
Who is it? BTS?
No,
I don't
you
think
get to
so.
actually see the movie. There's no behind the scenes for it.
Oh, okay. Then for JP Saruno, Michaela, Jason_Echoes. And Steve the STV will catch you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Boa tarde. Boa noite.
Bye bye now.